So the process of studying abroad is usually very difficult, guys, especially if it is your first time. Now, I will not take this video fast. I will just keep it slowly so that everybody can understand this process. Please, if you are still to apply to a university abroad, all right, in some of these countries, let me just list them here so that you understand. If you want to study in Austria, if you want to study in Portugal, if you want to study in Czech Republic, Slovenia, Slovakia, and Belgium, and so many other countries, please listen to me. It is very important, all right? Now, today I'm going to be talking about how you are going to do your documents for authentication and legalization before you can apply to Portugal. I remember talking to a friend few days back, and she was like, she doesn't know how the process of applying to Portuguese universities like the University of Aveiro, the University of ALGARVE, Minho University, and Politecnico de Lisbon. There are a lot of them in Portugal. So I was telling her some of the things that she needs to do, but then she told me she had not come across that on the media, and it is the first time she is hearing from me. But it's rather unfortunate. There are a lot of videos on the media. We cannot see everything. So today, let's talk about how you are going to arrange your documents to successfully apply to Portuguese universities. Now, I want to tell you that I will be talking about authentication. I'll be talking about documentation. I'll be talking about some of the other things that you need to know. First, these are the documents that you need to apply to a university in Portugal. They include one, your bachelor's degree and the transcript. If you are maybe a graduate, or let's say if you have already gotten your bachelor's, then you need your bachelor's degree to apply for a master's degree. But if you are still to get it, then you are going to be applying for bachelor's, which means that you need your high school qualifications to apply to a master's degree, not so to apply to a bachelor's degree, because you have to move from bachelor's to master's. Now, before you even use these documents that I mentioned, your transcript, your GC O levels and advanced level, your baccalaureate examination, depending on which of the countries you are coming from, maybe Ghana, Nigeria, or Cameroon, you need to authenticate these documents and you need to legalize these documents. These are two words that we usually use them mixed up. I myself, I usually mix them up, but I want to draw your attention to the fact that for you to study in a Portuguese university or in any school in Portugal, I would say 98% of Portuguese universities will need you to do this process. Authentication, number one. Legalization, number two. You must do this process before you apply to them. Now, I already mentioned the documents you will be needing. HND holders, there are institutions in Portugal you can apply to. Like if you have an HND and you want to apply to a school in Portugal, check like the Polytechnic Institute, all right? Politecnico de Lisbon, there are a lot of them. You can check them and start by writing emails to the competent departments to find out if they can actually give you an admissions offer. I hope you understand. Now, moving further, the first thing you need to do is authentication. Authentication means that these documents that you have need to go through the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, just your educational certificates. There are some other documents that will only go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I will mention them in the course of this video. They include 1, birth certificate, 2, marriage certificate, 3, police character. When you finish with the orders from the Ministry of Education, then when going to the Foreign Affairs Ministries, attach these 3 that I just mentioned. I hope you understand. Then you take them all together to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, the first thing you need to do is to take these documents to your university. It depends. Nigerians, you first of all start from your school. Then later on, that is to say, they will leave your school after you bring them from the ministry. The first thing you need to do as a student, take these documents to the Ministry of Education. Then add the other ones, take them to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then you carry them to the last stage, which is the legalization. That is to say, authentication is doing the documents at the Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs. So when you go there, they will put stamps on it, seals on it, all right? Then they will be able to sign them. Then you then carry these documents alongside the other ones to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is now called legalization. It is called legalization. This process is called legalization. They are legalizing it, all right? They are legalizing it. Now, let's assume that you have your bachelor's degree in Ghana and you are now in Nigeria. You need to send this certificate back to Ghana. Let's assume that someone contacted me and was saying that she got her degree from UK, but she's back in Nigeria. The only way you can do that is you have to send a degree back to UK. All right, they cannot do the document otherwise. Let us say you cannot obtain a document from Czech Republic and you want Nigeria to legalize it. No, it must go back to the ministry of that particular country before they would do it for you. All right, so that is how it works. Legalization comes at the level of the embassies. Authentication, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, for Ghanaians, the process may be different. For Cameroonians, the process is different. Nigerians, the process is different. When you finish from the ministries, then you will now take them for legalization at the level of the embassy, Nigerians. Then the embassy will still have to send them back to your school. Your school will send them to NUC. There is an organization in Nigeria like that. Then the NUC will send them back to the embassy. In fact, just know that when it leaves you do the legalization, sent to your school, the school is going to confirm all those details, all right, until it leaves your school and back to the embassy. When you reach the embassy, of course, when you send to the embassy for legalization, they will send back to your school. Your school will send to NUC, all right, then it goes back to the embassy before they would then call you for visa appointment or whatever. But remember, you cannot apply to Portuguese university without legalizing your documents. The process is written on almost all the universities' website. I think just very few schools in Portugal would not ask you to do this process. Even the University of EVORA, a lot of schools, even the University of Minho, it all depends on you. ALGARVE, all right, and if you don't do the very process, it will be difficult to gain admissions. And one reliable, or let me say one important thing I would always recommend Portugal is the fact that Portugal is looking for a lot of workers. You can use the job seeker visas and migrate to Portugal. Portugal is also bringing you in and encouraging you to get permanent residency and of course citizenship. All right, so these are some of the things that Portugal is, in fact, they are offering you a lot of things. So if you have the possibility to apply to their universities, gain admissions, apply for visa, of course you should do that. All right, tuition fee is paid in installments in Portugal, maybe 200 euros per installment. Sometimes some schools will ask you to pay 8 times, some 10 times. It all depends on you in this case. All right, so remember all this process. Now I equally want you to understand that for Ghanaians, the process may be different. For Nigerians, it's different. Then for Cameroonians, this process, you are going to equally be doing it differently. Documents coming from different institutions like HNDs and degrees from various universities don't go to the same ministries. All right. For example, someone with HND is going to be going back to the Ministry of Higher Education, while another person from the University of Boya, I'm not talking about Cameroonians, would be going from the University of Boya at transcript office to do certification, then carry his documents directly to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, while another person who just left high school will leave but the GCE board to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All right, so I have always explained this in most of my videos, so please pay attention to those videos and watch them very well so that you understand all these details. It is very important to put these details into consideration, guys. Now, if you are applying to Portugal, this is the process. If you are applying to Austria, the process is almost similar. Same procedure, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then VFS. All right, you have to go to the VFS first to do verification before the embassy. All right, but it is possible to apply to some universities in Austria without doing the legalization. It is possible like that. I have mentioned that. Then Czech Republic. Czech Republic is not that straightforward. I have a lot of videos on this channel talking about how to do legalization and notification. There is another step in the Czech Republic, notification. All right, in this case, you have to send your documents to Czech Republic, but before they go to the Czech Republic, they must have passed through Education Ministry, Foreign Affairs, then to the notification office in Czech Republic, then to your university before you gain admissions. I have explained this in many videos on this channel. All right, that is how Czech Republic functions. Some other universities, you will get an interview before you even apply. So that is it. You have to note this. Other countries like Slovenia, Slovakia, you equally have to do the same thing. You will even do translation from English to Czech language if you want to apply to some schools in Czech Republic and even in the Slovak. All right, so it all depends on which country you want to go to. Now let me draw your attention to the fact that those of you that will be applying to Belgium, All right, the process is equally still different, but you have to do the same thing from Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then you take them to the TLS contact. Then they send to the Belgian embassy to do the legalization for you. All right, with their stamps on it. There are fees associated to all these figures. I think the most expensive should be Austria. I'm not very certain. Portugal, I don't know how much it costs, but I've done it for Belgium. All right, so I know how much it costs. For Czech Republic, I've not done it, but I know how much it costs. All right, so you have to check depending on where you want to go, what you want to do, and how much you have. All right, in fact, every legalization process, or let's say from the authentication process, there is a fee attached to it. Okay, always verify their websites to know. And for Czech Republic, I think in Abuja, they are doing it on Tuesday and Thursday. But right now, the embassy is not open, so you cannot apply now. Guys, please pay attention to all these details. For those of you who asked me about proof of funds to study in Portugal, I'm going to bring the video in the days to come. So do not panic too much, all right? Just relax and wait for the video. However, there was a video I did on my YouTube channel about a student leaking the proof of funds secrets in the UK. And some people, they are dropping funny comments on that. Some are saying that we're not supposed to make that video. Some are saying that I'm chasing clout. Some are saying that I'm making the video because of views. Guys, please, before you comment, sometimes reasons, let us try to be factual here. I cannot put a video out to educate the others who want to move in so that they should be aware. This channel is an awareness channel, an education channel. And I cannot put out this video telling people to be aware so that they know what they do, so that they can strategize and build up well to avoid rejections, and people are dropping such comments. Well, I really don't reply to such comments, but it's well, we keep moving. All right, this channel is about positive life, positive news, positive education activities, and we are going to continue like that. So this is how you are going to go about the authentication and the legalization process. Remember, like I said, there is an extra stage for Czech Republic called notification. However, schools are going to be closing very soon in Czech Republic, so make sure you try to apply now before the closing deadline or the final deadline. And remember that in Portugal, most universities are opening. I will drop 2 videos this week on Portugal, on some of the universities that are opening. Remember, if you want to study any degree program in Portugal, being it for bachelor's, you may need the Portuguese language, but there are some schools that will teach you in English language at bachelor's. However, other universities will teach you in English language at master's level. All right, a variety of programs in Portugal, from arts to sciences to social science to humanities to law and so many other programs, all right, to business. So I will be talking about all of this on the subsequent videos on this YouTube channel. Guys, this is the process for legalization. All right, in another video I will drop the proof of funds so that you can equally go through it. Till we meet again in another one.